Hello, class, and welcome to this little video on kind of like comedy versus tragedy in drama. And just a few of the things that come up in this week's reading regarding the two. So a lot of that's there, but I feel like just a little explanation could help. Um, as you're going to quickly find out, uh, there's a sort of classically two modes of drama. There's the tragedy, which usually ends pretty poorly, and the comedy, which is usually pretty funny. And for the most part, the tragedies tend to be the ones that went down in history as perhaps more famous. There's a few reasons for that, most of them emotional. There's also some words here that will help us out to figure out. Well, there's some words, the vocab here that come up every day, like they're just being a part of being an informed, educated human will help you. Things like hubris and catharsis. These are kind of $5 words that help us out, but they all come from the Greek tragedy. And so, as we're going to read Antigone, which is a tragedy as part of a whole Oedipal thing, it's really a classic, and it hits all those milestones that you need for a Greek tragedy. The first is the idea that you start off usually with your heroes doing okay, right? They need some place to fall from, and so there tends to be a bit of a prosperity and then a reversal of that prosperity. We also tend to have tragic heroes, right? It's just the hero in a tragedy, something bad happens to them. And oftentimes this happens through a thing called hubris, which is a fatal flaw, right? Anymore, hubris itself tends to be kind of compartmentalized into its own thing, where hubris can used to mean kind of any fatal flaw. Now they just kind of use hubris generally, as in saying that if people have a lot of hubris, which is kind of new for me. This kind of has happened in the last 20 years, I've noticed, where they stop using hubris as meaning some particular fatal flaw and as sort of meaning like a pride that tends to make people blind and that they screw things up over and over and over again, which is fine. I could use it either way, I suppose, but that's kind of how it's been used. One of the things about the tragedies that the Greeks, classically loved so much was this feeling of catharsis. That if you are kind of putting yourself relating to the hero and you experience the losses that they go through, then that's a form of catharsis. It's another great word that comes up all the time. And it's kind of this where people have to feel pain in order to get over something. Like you have to let yourself be exposed to it in order to move on from it. Catharsis. So that's on the tragedy side. On the comedy side, we have it's a lot easier. Usually it ends well, and usually it's a bit more comical naturally. The comedic plot is generally the reverse of the tragic plot, where they usually start with nothing, and then by the end they've gained a whole bunch. And then naturally there's romantic comedies, where again, right, they go through the same reversal of going from nothing to something, usually in the terms of love. And so Antigone fits that classic Greek tragedy. And that will help you to grasp kind of, why the plot is set up the way it is and which archetypes our heroes are set within. And also then to be able to write about or think about how it's similar to other tragedies or different, right? So it just sets up just the playing field for that. Hope that helps, and enjoy the week.